Getting ready, obviously, going to be a tricky road trip for our guys this week, playing against a good UMass team that, they've already played an SEC team, an ACC team, and played pretty well. They're pretty quick on defense, got a lot of quick guys. Move around, a lot of different pressure, stunts, movements on the defensive side of the ball to try to create as much chaos as they can on the defensive side of the ball offensively. They throw the ball pretty well, got an explosive running back. And, a different environment, obviously, long road trip for us. Going up to the Northeast, we might have to get the heaters out even with how hot it's been here. And, even just looking at the weather forecast, I think it's 30 degrees colder than any practice day we're going to have this week. So even though it's not that cool up there, just the temperature change, we got to be prepared for that and get ready to just go play hard. It's going to be a big key for our guys of staying focused, being our second straight road game, making sure we're focused and learn how to win on the road.
Questions? We'll get a mic to you.
Dan, obviously lots going to be made about you kind of returning to the New England area. What plans or anything that do you have? I know it won't be long, but do you have any plans?
No. I'm working here Thursday, so I'm going to miss the Pats game Thursday night. Red Sox are out of town, so we follow. It's a shame because we followed up with a bye week. So if the Red Sox were in town, I might have thought about trying to stick around a little bit, catch a Sox game real quick, see Big Papi one more time. But no, I think we'll have I have a lot of friends and family come. I think I can't even tell you. You have to ask my wife. I mean, I think she's had. I think one of my group of friends, they were asked. They said that they were getting a head count in the either 80s coming to the game or something like that. So I have a lot of family and friends at the game to come watch us play. And so maybe have somebody stop at the back room restaurant, pick up some chicken tenders for me with the duck sauce and bring it down.
And following up on that, what was it like growing up in the New England area, and what's it mean to you to take your Mississippi State ball club up in that area?
Well, it's great. I mean, it's a great place to grow up. A lot of great memories. Growing up there, beautiful time of year to be up there right now in this the early fall. Foxborough's a little south, so I don't know how much foliage we'll get around the stadium. If you head up a little further north, you can see some nice foliage. So but beautiful deal. A really neat experience. I mean, fun for me to kind of head back towards home and play a game. And, I bet we'll be able to, I think, for most of the guys on our team, if they do their state count, they'll be able to check off. I think we land in Rhode Island and we'll play up in Massachusetts. They'll be able to check 2 states because I can guarantee you there's very few people on our team that have been to either Rhode Island or Massachusetts. So I bet some of our coaches, I think, are able to check those 2 off, too, that haven't spent a whole lot of time up in the Northeast.
Coach, Des Harris had a good game the other night at LSU and things. What's that mean for him to have overcome all the knee injuries that he's had to come out and really make an impact in an SEC road game like that?
Well, I think, you see what we've been hoping to see out of him for the last couple of years. And obviously, injuries has kind of set back his development for a guy that we expected early on in his career. So he was a really good special teams player, which usually leads to that, you're going to continue to grow, develop, become a good defensive player. And just some of the injuries have cut that short for him. So it's good to see it. We've always expected a lot out of him. Hopefully he can build on this now and start becoming more of a factor and a role player on the defensive side of the ball.
There's been a couple plays this year just around college football where there's a sure touchdown and the guy kind of drops the ball before he crosses the goal line.
Yeah.
What kind of conversations do you have with your players, and have you had more just because it's kind of happened a lot this season?
Yeah, don't do that when we're running the ball in. For sure. It's a mental focus and discipline type of deal, of just finishing a play and finishing everything we do. On the defense side of the ball, it's the same thing. You want to pick up every ball that, if someone puts if there's a ball on the ground, pick it up no matter what the situation is on defense. So, but I've seen a bunch of that, and those are just mental errors that you just can't make. You got to be focused. I think one of the things, these are young kids, they're 18 to 22-year-old kids, and they have to keep unbelievable focus through the course of a game to be successful. And I think it helps when they see. Hopefully, it helps they see other people make mistakes that they can learn from that mistake and not make it themselves.
Looking back at the LSU game in the third quarter, you guys were able to run the ball with some good success. When you look back on film, what factors led to being able to run the ball that quarter?
We played harder, to be honest with you. I don't think we played real well. And, we obviously played much better in the second half of the game overall, offense and defense, even special teams-wise. So, I don't know whether as our guys just getting settled in or, and relaxing to a point, rousing halftime speech of just relax and play hard every single play. And all of a sudden we started doing it and we started executing. I thought in the first half there were plays there to be made. We just weren't making them. Both run and pass, offense and defense, and even the kicking game. And we just weren't making the plays that were there to be made. I think our guys settled down in the second half. We started making the plays that we expected to make. And unfortunately, we dug ourselves a little bit too big a hole to dig out of at that point.
After you went back and watched the film, was LSU doing anything defensively to kind of keep Nick Fitzgerald from gaining as much success as he did running the ball?
No. I mean, again, when you play, when you're running option football, like, whether it's zone read options or other things, you're just going to take what the defense gives you. So, I mean, I guess they kind of had some guys on him and gave him the reads to hand the ball off.
What did Damian do or LSU allow that allowed those 2 touchdowns so quick?
Really nothing. We caught the ball. I mean, to be honest with you, I think we were moving the ball in the second half pretty well. And, went in that situation and we just, one-on-one situations, we won a couple. We missed a couple early in the game. We, won some, missed some early in the game. We kind of hit most of them in that second half, especially the fourth quarter.
We're shuffling players around, a lot of inexperienced players in the secondary. How would you kind of grade what they've done in the first 3 weeks?
I don't know. It's hard because there's just so many guys going in and with the injuries and all of that stuff. So, they're developing. They're developing, and, you're in a situation where you're having to play guys a lot more and way earlier than they're supposed to be playing at this point of their career. And so, that's what we got. They got to step up. They got to play, and if they play hard, they're gonna, they're learning. The hardest one, they're just learning how to play hard. Never mind what their assignment or technique and all the other things. They're just trying to even figure out how to play hard at this point.
Coach, how did the team perform yesterday in practice? What was kind of the bounce back there?
Yeah, they were good. They got after it. I mean, hey, you got to play again this week. I mean, we're, told them you're down to 6 days before we kick it off again, so you better buckle it up and get ready to go, or else, that game's over. You got to get ready for the next one. And if you don't do that, you're going to let one loss cause many losses for you.
UMass has already played Florida this year. Just talk about what you've seen on film about with them, a team that a lot of people in the South don't see.
Well, they're a very good football team. I mean, like I said, they're very quick on defense, and a lot of movement, blitzes. I mean, they're going to blitz all over the place and move and stunt guys around all over the place. And offensively, they like to throw the ball around. And probably a little different than some teams. That spread it to throw it. They don't spread it to throw it, but they're going to go unbalanced movement shifts, some of that stuff, and and throw the ball around that way. So, we're going to have to we got to be able to defend the pass on the back end. We got to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. That's one thing that we weren't able to do last week. On the defensive side of the ball. And we got to be able to handle all the quick line movements and all the pressures and blitzes we're going to see on offense.
Yes. What kind of conversations do you have with the quarterbacks after Nick struggled and Damian appeared to play well? Is there a conversation you have about, hey, this is what we're doing going forward?
No, I didn't think Nick struggled. I thought Nick played pretty well, to be honest with you. Missed a throw or two here or there, and so did Damian. But just got to find a way to win. We got to play better and find a way to win. Be better leaders. That's the most important thing at the quarterback position. Have great leadership.
How's Will Coleman doing? I know it was a two-week thing. Is today this week better for
It's
him?
going to
or-
be right on the edge. So not sure. He'll still be questionable this week. Be nice to get him back. You know, but we got to see with where he's at, with whether he'll be back. I feel if he's, you know, we feel pretty confident that he'll definitely be back for the Auburn game. You know, it's going to be close for this one though, but we'll see how this week progresses with him. We're hoping to get Ced Giles back, but that might again be Auburn as well.
How do you think the defense did? It seemed like the second half they were creating more pressure, a little bit of turnovers too.
Well, I think we just played harder. It is, and I guess I don't know. I thought we played hard in the first half at times too. We just didn't make plays, you know. And it's you gotta you know, if you just worry, I think guys were worried about too many things. You know, when you got young players, you know, they're worried about everything. Oh no, we gave up a touchdown. Oh, what do we have to do? Can we score? Are we going to win the game? Are we going to lose the game? How's this going to affect the season? All of those things, you know, young guys worried about every little detail, and they worry less about how hard they can go on the next play. That was one of the biggest things. I think to me, the biggest difference between the first half and the second half is I saw a look from guys that were just worried about all the wrong things. Like, I don't know what they have to worry about. Just line up and play the next play as hard as you can play. And for some reason, everybody was worried about big picture things or, you know, outcomes of the game instead of just line up and go as hard as you can on the next play. To be honest with you, I think if you watch us play, I don't even think anybody looked at the scoreboard until we recovered the onside kick. And they're like, because all they worried about was how hard you could go on the next play. I think our guys bought into that and did that in the second half of the game. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-point game with 3 minutes to go. You know, we outscored them 17-0 in the second half. You know, but that's young players. They got to learn that. Stop worrying about all the other stuff and worry about this play. I'm putting my hand in the ground and going as hard as I can on this play. And if that's all we worry about, chances are we're going to learn how to win football games and become really, really successful, and stop with all the outside distractions or whatever. You know, I mean, who knows what everything going through all their different minds were of that point, how they came about it. But you just saw a team that wasn't focused on just that play.
Dak got his first NFL win yesterday. Have you talked to him since, and how much of that game did you get to watch yesterday?
None. But I watched some of the highlights last night, late night when I got home. Buzzed a couple, but I mean, happy for him. Yeah, I texted him, congratulations. So I'm really happy for him. Hopefully he has a lot more. You know, I mean, he's. I guess it's tough. My wife said something about him and Preston. So I don't know if Preston got to hit him or not, because they said she was watching the game and she said like they did a big deal. Preston's never been allowed to hit him before, so he was looking forward to hitting him. But you know what? No, you're happy. I saw a picture of Dak and Preston together after the game, and you take a lot of pride in that. You know, there's two guys that they're a 4-star between. You kind of find them both. You know, I think they combined to be a 4-star, 2 each. And, you know, here they are living out their dreams in the NFL, and knowing that, you know, they worked hard to do that, but knowing that you had a little part of helping them develop and helping them grow and helping them live their dreams is pretty special.
When you talk about the team learning not to look forward, focus on the now, is that something you can coach, or is that also something they just have to learn by having, unfortunately, experienced it?
Well, I mean, the best learning that you ever do is experiencing it. You know, but we try. You're constantly trying to coach it and get them to learn it. But you know, I mean, a lot of guys, it's the first time they're in situations. So even though they might be able to tell you that before the game, this is what we need to do, and they can tell you that, when they get put in a situation, how they react or respond is sometimes different. And so, you know, you got to kind of help them get through those situations and grow. You know, we'll see. You know, we'll see how we respond to that. Practice this week, how we respond to it in a road game this coming week. You know, I mean, are we learning from mistakes and issues that we've made? You know, and every game seems to be different. You know, in each of the first 3 games we've played in a hard to say a great half, but I think we've played some really good halves of football. And then through whatever different circumstances, we play a poor other half of football, you know, and it's been first and second, second and first. I don't, you know, I mean, and I think it's just learning how to deal with whatever situation you're in and how to go respond to it.
Is there something that you have to do with all players? I mean, I said that, you know, Nick struggled a little. You said he didn't. When you're looking at it, do you go to him and say, hey, yes, everyone's going to say that you may not have a good game, but on film, everything we saw, you did have a good game?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, like the same thing. If they're worried about stuff, I don't want to make y'all feel bad. You guys might say nice things about me, might say awful things about me, and I really don't pay attention much to either. So if you say nice things, thank you. If you say mean things, and you know what? I have another response, but I'm not going to say it on air. You know, but you know, I think that's just something you have to grow with, and hopefully they learn that. You know, we had a quarterback here the last couple of years. Got attention, did good, did bad, had a lot of, you know, was given a lot of credit, took a lot of criticism. And you wonder why he's handling things pretty well at the next level. It's because he figured it out while he was here. So hopefully they learned that from him. You know, I mean, hey, you're as good as your last play. You're as good as your last game. And you know, so and if you don't like things how things are, or you don't like what's being said about you, well, get to work and go change it. You know, if you like how things are being said about you, well, then get to work so they keep saying even better things about you. But either way, you better strap it up and get back to work and improve if you want to have a chance to succeed.